Time once again to go back into the archives. Welcome to Vintage Games here on the NHL Network. I'm Dan Pollard. Today we take a look back to May 10th of 1980, Game 6 of the semifinal matchup between the New York Islanders and the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres had lost the first 3 games of the series, but were on a roll after reeling off back-to-back wins. After ending the playoffs in the semifinals the previous 2 seasons, the Islanders needed to steal back momentum. This postseason, they were out to prove they had something extra to give.
There are your officials tonight. Andy Van Hellemond is the referee. Ron Finn and Bob Hodges are the 2 linesmen. In goal for the Buffalo Sabres tonight, the man who was so hot in games 1 and 2, Bob Sauvé, 176 goals against average. And down at the other end, Billy Smith. He was outstanding in the first 2 games in Buffalo, and of course, Sauvé was so great on Thursday night. Can't believe this crowd here in the Nassau Coliseum, Long Island in New York. Are they ever up? Let's see how the Islanders react now as they come to center. With Merrick, Pinelli and Nystrom on the wing starting out. Lorimer and Potvin on the defense. Perreault, Martin and Seelig for Buffalo with Height and Dunn back there. And it's cleared into the Islanders zone. Islanders cautiously playing it up along the boards in their own end. Seelig couldn't keep it in. It's hammered from center ice, offside called at the Islanders' blue line. Gary, this is some kind of crowd. Reminds you of the old days of the Spectrum.
There's nothing better than to get the blood flowing, and that's the noise of the crowd. Coach Scotty Bowman, I don't think he really figured the Sabres couldn't come back after they were down 3-0. But suddenly, here they are, and you can bet that he'll use a lot of line combinations in this game tonight.
Perreault got the draw. It goes to Dennis Potvin, though. He's the leader of this team. If they're going to go, he has to be hot. Potvin hands it off to the right side. Lorimer comes as far as center, has to backtrack. Look out for Perreault. He's always dangerous in there. Martin was bumped. He fell to the ice down in the corner. And now the New York Islanders can clear it. First shot by Seelig is away wide. Nice one starting down the right wing boards at center. Tried to hit Merrick and did. And Merrick couldn't get the shot. Van Boxmeer got a stick in front of him. It's kept in by the Islanders. Here's Merrick again. A penalty coming up against the Buffalo Sabres. Big break early. Pinelli centered one. It's off the skate back to the line and into the center ice area. And now the referee, Andy Van Hellemond, stops the play. And the first penalty of the hockey game goes against Buffalo. Van Boxmeer, there you see him in the penalty box. And here it is. It's a hooking call.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And right now, what it's going to do is the Islanders get that first power play. And, you know, talking to some of the players, they want to feed Potvin more with his wrist shot and then try to position somebody in front of Sauvé.
Trottier comes to center ice for New York. Ennis Pearson with a shot. That's blocked by Sauvé. The stick save in the corner. Horn takes a look. Gets in front. Dangerously close. Bossy from the corner back to the line. Potvin back to Bossy. Bossy lining it up now. The Islanders on the power play. Here it is for Pearson again. Screen shot. We're getting an interference called against the New York Islanders. I believe it'll be Trottier who'll go off. And that stopped the play. So they'll be even 5 aside. Trottier, interference. That comes at 1:20. Van Boxmeer went off at 57 seconds.
Well, that's an awful big break for the Sabres. You know, they had that power play against them, and suddenly teams will play at even strength. You'll see it right at the left-hand part of your screen there. The interference on Trottier, moving the player out of that area. And Andy Van Hellemond, he was right on the spot there, caught the infraction. That'll nullify that power play advantage.
So they're 5 aside now. Goring comes to center ice for the New York Islanders. Gilbert Perreault for the Buffalo Sabres. And there's a man that the Islanders have to contain. Perreault. From the draw, it goes back into the zone, and Height steps back for it smartly. Back of the net it goes. Seelig hammered it the other way, and here's Perreault looking for some skating room. If he gets it, he'll go, let me tell you. Here's Seelig across the line to center. Hooked away from him, and Gord Lane shoots a long one in for New York. Coming back is Richie Dunn. Height takes his pass at the side of the net. Height goes back to the goal for Lane. It's by him. Sealing backing up with it. Threw it in back of the net again. The Islanders are forechecking. Here comes Big Gillies. Lane at the line. Took a shot. Tipped away by Sauve on the other side. And kept in. Langevin just played it off to the corner. Now back for Buffalo. Up to the line at center is Perreault coming in. Look at him go now. Perreault! And his shot was fired wide. But he made a big move in front of the netminder, Billy Smith. It hopped out into the center ice area. 40 seconds left in the Van Boxmeer penalty as Height comes in. There is no score in this first period. Height with a shot. Rebound. Scores! Height took the shot. Billy Smith set it up, man. There's the guy I said you had to watch, Gary. Gilbert Perreault hopped on it quickly.
Well, he made a great rush before, but watch how the Sabres penetrate the zone. Look at the way the Islanders continue to back up. Now Perreault, nobody picks him coming through. There's the rebound by Billy Smith. And Perreault, what a better position to be in. He makes no mistake. But the Islanders, they have to challenge at the blue line.
Buffalo goal.
There's the rebound. There's Perreault. He makes no mistake. 2:26 the time. Perreault, his ninth, and it's 1-0 Buffalo. The Islanders shoot it in back of the net. Now, the Sabres start to move it again. A long pass to Garrett center, and he's coming in. Here's Daniger dropping it back, and two Islanders break out. This is Bob Bourne coming in with Henning. Bourne driving for the net, right in. And he was bumped with Bob Sauve making that save. It goes back of the net. Into the corner again. Playfair trying to move it out. Gets it up to center ice. Buffalo on the move. The long, high, rising shot by Mongrain is wide of the net. Now Lorimer, he shoots one down to center ice. Playfair waits for it and gets it. Nearing the 4-minute mark of the opening period. 1-0 Buffalo on top of the New York Islanders. And Potvin comes back. The teams are at full strength now as Trottier is on. Here's the play coming down on the left wing to center. Buffalo hustling back, and Height takes over at his own blue line. To Richie Dunn. Dunn's pass through the middle. McKechnie was stopped. They're trying to carry on. He was sent flying just inside the line. And the Islanders get it out to the center ice area. Howard picks it up. He comes in. A shot off into the corner. Sauve out of the net, steering it up along the boards. And Pearson stops it for Langevin. From there, he'll shoot it in. They've hit the 4-minute mark of the opening period. Good play in front of the net by Derek Smith to whip it out to center ice. Pearson stopped McKechnie. Buffalo Sabres changing as the play goes on. Langevin coming in. On the wing is Trottier. Trottier dropped it back in front. Here's Howard breaking in. Howard gets his shot. And that low shot is why there's another penalty coming up against Buffalo. A shot hit the side of the net by Bossy. And now the whistle goes. And another interference call against the Buffalo Sabres. Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. Richie Dunn is there. He's off for interference at 4:25 of this opening period. 1-0 Buffalo leading on the Gilbert Perreault goal. And now the Islanders once again have the man advantage. Goring got the draw for Nystrom back near the line. It's kept in. Potvin. Pearson then lost it, and it goes to center. Potvin coming back to watch Luce. Luce and Savard. The penalty killers up front for Buffalo. Here's Nystrom shooting one front center. That's knocked down by Gillies. And the Islanders had come back on the side. It's cleared back in on the wing, and Goring could pick it up. It goes from Gillies to Potvin, who is out of position. And it's into the center ice area. Pearson to Potvin. Back to Pearson. He moves up near the line. Nystrom right behind him. It did pass it back, and Height will shoot it off the boards. Not out. Kept in by the Islanders on this power play. It's been ineffective so far. Here's Gillies to Potvin, to Nystrom. Popped off his stick. In back of the net it goes. Covering up is Jim Schoenfeld. He moves it from the corner to the line. It's stopped by Pearson right in front. Quick shot is rifled wide by Goring. Goring has it again to Nystrom. In comes Big Gillies in the corner. He tries to set it up, and Buffalo doing a standout job killing this penalty. 1-0 the Sabres lead it. At the line. Pearson to Potvin. Potvin gets ready. Played it in along the big circle. Gordon got it back to Pearson to Potvin. Here's the shot now. That's off the stick of Don Luce. And Savard couldn't clear it by the defenseman Pearson. Shot! That's off the leg and wide of the net. Potvin couldn't keep it in. It goes down the ice and now only 25 seconds left in the penalty for the Buffalo Sabres. The Islanders trailing 1-0, led by Bourne coming in. Bourne over to the far side, had it knocked off his stick, and it's cleared to the center ice area. A fall, but here's Sealing. One man back, and Sealing in with a shot. That's grabbed by Billy Smith. The penalty, 3 seconds left in it now. So it's over at this point. As Bossy comes down the ice on the left wing. He dropped it to Bourne at the line. He just barely kept it in. That's about all. The Sabres shoot it to center. Once again, coming in is Morrow. His long shot is blocked by Sauvé. Buffalo 1. The Islanders, no score. Game 6 of the semifinal series. A long pass down to the wing. Perreault again. Shot! Score! Gilbert Perreault left open on the left wing. And here at 6:53, it's 2-0. Perreault in Buffalo.
Well, you noticed that acceleration by Perreault there down the wing, but I thought Smith really played this poorly. You see the shot coming. Look at all the room he has there, and it actually beats him on the short side. Hits part of Smith and trickles into the net. He did get a part of it, piece of it, but it goes through him. You know, Smith come out a little further, challenged a little better, would have had that one. But Perreault suddenly has scored 2 goals for the Sabres.
And that's number 10 in the series for Gilbert Perreault. Perreault from Van Boxmeer, the official scoring play at 6:53, and it's 2-0. The Islanders down 2 goals early in this hockey game as the Sabres strike early, and they've been killing off those penalties again. Here's Van Boxmeer back to the net. On the boards, it's stopped near the line and cleared down on the left wing. Islanders trying to organize again. Bourne just tipped it up to the zone. It's fed ahead by Schoenfeld. Down the left side. Ruff was spun around and back for New York. In on the wing goes Morrow. Morrow breaks around Schoenfeld, then caught up to him and threw him in on the boards. Schoenfeld went down. Here's Conte centers it. A scramble for it. Canelli took a shot, and that was just wide off the skate to the corner. Long shot by Lane was blocked. Richie Dunn trying to move it out for Buffalo. Some great pressure there by the New York Islanders, but there's still scoreless in this game. Perreault trying to go in again. Perreault in the big circle was spun around and back for New York. Down on that far right side, Sutter tried to play it in front. He did. Good. Canelli got the goal, and Sutter set it up.
Well, if the Islanders ever needed one, they got a goal at the opportune time to get back in the game. Sutter gets over that blue line. It looked like a very harmless play. There's Canelli all by himself. Nobody picked him up, and more goals are being scored from that slot area. Look at 2 guys around. In fact, 3 Sabres around, but Canelli gets a piece of it right through the legs of Bob Sauvé.
And there's the official time, 8:08. John Canelli getting this crowd to their feet.
That should never happen, Bob, in a case like that. Boy, that's the first place you want to look. Who's coming down that slot? The Sabres had 3 men there. Not one of them put a finger on Canelli. There you saw the result.
A little bit of panic in a way as Sutter went back of the net, as you'll see now as we look at it again. Sutter going back of the net, and they chased him back there. Right in front is Tonelli.
Well, everybody's watching Sutter. You saw Rick Martin in there, Playfair. They're all looking at Sutter, what he's going to do, instead of somebody turning around and watching the man in the slot.
With a score, Buffalo 2 and the New York Islanders 1. This is Stanley Cup 80. Well, I guess, Gary, it's a little too early in the game to get too tight. There's Al Arbor, who looks to be a little tight at the moment. His team down a goal.
He loves it. He said, how many people get an opportunity to go for a Stanley Cup final berth?
Oh, you're right. but it's tough on the way. Coming down for Buffalo, Van Boxmeer, that good rushing defenseman, he shoots it in. And coming back to the net, Sutter. Moving it out, Tonelli to center. Here's Merrick for the break, and Sutter gets in front, shooting it. And Sauve made the save and just held tight to that post. Did a good job cutting down that short side.
Well, what better player to ask about another goaltender than a goaltender himself? I talked to Chico Reshton. He says one thing Sauve does so well, he really plays the angles. He stands straight up. You notice him coming out there. He had that angle perfectly blocked. He said if Sauve does have a weakness, it's because he stands so straight up. He leaves those rebounds, and he's not in a crouch. He's not able to handle them that well. He really depends a lot on his defense to cover that rebound. So the Islanders, they certainly want to get somebody in that vicinity to try to pick up a few rebounds of their own.
This line of Merrick, Tonelli, and Sutter has been a stand-up for the Islanders so far in this game. Tonelli has scored the New York goal. Gilbert Perreault, the 2 goals for Buffalo. I'm Bob Cole along with Gary Dornhofer. Dan Kelly and Dave Hodge for the 6th game from Long Island in New York. 2-1, the Sabres lead it with 3:30 left to play in this opening period. Merrick now on the draw. Back of the net, Tonelli went after it. He was bumped hard. They start to push and shove and whistle, and 2 players fall to the ice. Quickly, the 2 linesmen are in there, and the referee, Andy Van Hilleman. Gary, that so far this series has been fairly mild when you look at this sort of thing, but you know the tension has got to be mounting.
Well, you wonder when something's going to break out. There have been a lot of good hits by both teams. The Islanders, of course, are a lot bigger on the forward line. They have some big fellas out there, and they have to use their body. Strong against the boards in the corner.
Here comes Schoenfeld. He wants to go after someone.
Lindy Ruff, of course, he was in Scotty Bowman's doghouse for a period of time. Suddenly he got the call, and has he ever been effective? And he will be with Dave Hodge in the first intermission. You know, it gives Gilles Perreault a chance to play double shifts with he and Van Boxmeer in the forward line. Look at that hitting there with Tonelli, Schoenfeld.
2 minutes for roughing. Islander penalty number 27, John
Tonelli.
2 minutes for high sticking. Time of the penalties at 16:39.
Tonelli gets a high sticking penalty. Jim Schoenfeld of Buffalo for roughing. These penalties come at 16:39. The Sabres lead 2-1. The 2 Buffalo goals by Perreault. It was Tonelli who scored the goal for the New York Islanders.
You know, it's interesting, Bob. You go and talk to the 2 coaches and ask for their lines that they're going to be using tonight. And they said, well, here's the way we'll start. But from once the game starts, you never know the combinations we'll use. And both Al Arbour and Scotty Bowman have used so many combinations so far, we have disregarded what they had to say before the game.
You better believe it. Nightmares for broadcasters, but of course they have a job to do. So do we. It's 3:21 left in this first period. Sabres up by a goal, and Goring with Gillies, Lane, and Morrow for the New York Islanders. And it comes to Lane. Lane screen shot, got through, but Bob Sauve had the angle covered, and he saw it. Perreault, a little more skating room out there now for a fellow like Perreault who can really fly. They're 5 aside as Height comes across his own line for Buffalo. In comes Sealing now. He stops to get away from Lane. That was a good move. Trying to hit Perreault, cruising in front. But the Islanders cover up and get rid of it. 2:55 left in the period. Buffalo 2. The New York Islanders 1. This is Sealing again. That long lead pass. Sealing's high shot. That was right at Billy Smith. He just stood there and blocked it. Now Lane taking his time. Gets away from Luce. That's a dangerous move. Undone Luce in front of your own net. Lane from center ice shoots it in. And Richie Dunn will take over for the Buffalo Sabres as the Islanders change. With a play moving down to center led by Dunn. Dunn played it on the boards into the corner. Lorimer hustles over there and he'll move up. He gets it up as far as center and he was bumped to the ice. Now Bob Bourne goes back with Potvin. Potvin takes his lead pass. Coming in with Trottier. Potvin trailing. It comes to Bourne. Closing in. Good move by Bourne, but Van Boxmeer just took it away. And they get a whistle as the 2 players go to the board. To the right of Bob Sauve. 2:06 left in this first period. Buffalo 2 and the New York Islanders 1.
Well, you talk about a guy that can certainly break a game wide open with his speed. You're looking at Bob Bourne. He showed us a pretty exciting move there where he cut to the inside. But Van Boxmeer, he was equal to the task and was able to break up the play. Scotty Bowman, will this be his last year as a coach? I think this is it for Scotty, but
he wants to move upstairs. General manager,
he's had enough. Life is easier sitting in an office.
Well, he told me himself he'd like to have an opportunity to spend more time with his children. Bourne, down the left side. He was bumped on the boards, can't move it. Dennis Potvin comes in from the blue line with Bourne. And it goes back near the line again. A backhand shot, a weak one, was stopped by Sauvé, no problem. And here we go, we're getting another penalty. And Andy Van Hellemond heads over to the penalty timekeeper's bench. And it's going to be Bob Bourne who's going up. There he goes.
Well, he knew it right away. As soon as the play was called, he just skated right over to the penalty box. Ramsey carried the puck behind his net. Bourne took the skates right from under him, and he didn't hesitate, skated right to the box.
Gilbert Perreault, his 9th of the series, to give Buffalo a 1-0 lead at 2:26. Then Perreault was 10th to make it 2-0 at 6:53, and then Tonelli making it 2-1. That goal at 8:08.
Well, Perreault in the last 3 games, he has certainly been the trigger man for the Sabres, doing it all. Now they're just waiting for Gare and Martin to start scoring some goals.
The teams starting to center ice and watching each other very closely. There's a shot right along the goal post by Perreault. I'll tell you, he's been firing bullets tonight. Gilbert Perreault with that harmless-looking rush just inside the line, and he nailed the post. A minute and 20 seconds left in the opening period. Buffalo on the move. Richie Dunn shoots one in. It's off the boards, comes right back near the line again. Tonelli jamming for it along the boards, and they get it down the ice. Dunn steps back. He's circled.
Last minute to play in the period.
A minute left in this first period. Perreault's pass to Danny Gare. Here he comes up near the line, and Gare just made that move as he hit the blue line, and the Sabres are offside.
Well, it looks right now that Al Arbour wants Butch Goring against Perreault, and it seems that every time he's out there, they've got Goring. Try to neutralize the speed. Goring can keep up with Perreault, but you know, when I look back at when we were playing the Sabres in the finals, what we try to do is pick up Perreault right when he got the puck in his own zone, or pick him up before he had a chance to carry it, because you notice how dangerous his keep becomes when he carries that puck.
You see Scotty Bowman a second ago looking up at the clock, 50 seconds left. And there's a power play now on for Buffalo as they shoot it in. Bourne off for the rest of this period unless there's a goal scored, of course. Here's Goring coming to center ice. 2-man break coming in with Henning. Shoot! That's knocked down in front of the net. And Gare takes it. Danny Gare coming out. 30 seconds left in the period. Buffalo 2 and the Islanders 1. Coming in across the line. It's knocked away and cleared. Once again, Van Boxmeer moved it up on the right wing boards. Lane was given a jolt by Danny Gare. It comes right in front of the net. McKechnie was spun around with 12 seconds left. Back near the blue line. 2 Islanders break out. 8 seconds left. Coming in as Henning fakes the shot. 3 seconds left. It's cleared into the corner. And the period is over. But they were racing against the clock on that 2-on-1, let me tell you.
Well, something that Schoenfeld does so well is block shots. You know, you'll see him go down 6 or 7 times a game. Henning makes a good play here. He holds up. He sees Schoenfeld going down, but he wasn't able to draw the puck back and get good control of it.
And so the score at the end of the first period is Buffalo 2 and the New York Islanders 1. There's Bob Sauvé, the goaltender for the Buffalo Sabres. I'll tell you that Gilbert Perreault is looking very, very hot.
Well, I think it's time for the Islanders to pay more attention to him. In the last 3 games now, he has certainly been the dynamite figure on the Sabres. Get a guy on him and just follow him all over the ice. That would probably be their best bet.
The Islanders heading in with a shot, and that hits Sauvé. High on the head, I think we'll get another look at that. The Islanders still in there. It's cleared back of the net. Bourne gets ready to step back on, and there's going to be a penalty against Buffalo. There's the call. Right away, we get a Buffalo penalty. Here at 18 seconds of play of the second period, John Van Boxmeer of the Buffalo Sabres is off for hooking. Sauve was shaken up a little while ago. You saw the shot. It hit him high, either on the shoulder or on the face mask.
Well, in any event, if it did hit him on the face mask, I think that would be the route to go. You know, it will take the puck will take the hit on that mask and not cause any damage. You know, the other face mask that a lot of the goaltenders are wearing, even though they get hit, you know, it has a tendency to cut. But Sauve seems to be all right. He's back in there again and ready to resume play.
There's the backup goaltender. That's Don Edwards of Buffalo. But Sauve is okay. Schoenfeld back of the net. He lost it. Bossy got it loose. Now Schoenfeld still on the ice. Bossy tried to throw it by him, but it went underneath the big defenseman, and he just stayed there, didn't move, and he gets a whistle.
Well, Mike Bossy has certainly been very quiet the last few games. You know, when a player doesn't get good scoring chances, and there's something wrong. You know, you can't always score goals, but you still have to come up with those good scoring chances. Bossy hasn't been able to do that.
Islanders with a man advantage, back to the line. It comes, and Bob Bourne. They shove the rebound. Bossy! Well, he never got the words out of his mouth, Gary.
He must have heard this.
Bossy was there with the rebound. That is a power play goal at 31 seconds, and it's 2-2.
Well, just like I was saying, you have to get those chances to put them in. Look at the position Bossy has, goes for the rebound, and he makes no mistake. It looked like a knuckleball, but it did find its way in the net for a power play goal.
I think it hit somebody in front of the net, but Bossy gets credit for it. And obviously, if it did hit somebody, it had to be a Buffalo Sabre.
Bobby must have heard what I said. That didn't take him long to respond.
I'll tell you it didn't.
That's the sixth of the playoffs for Mike Bossy from Bob Bourne.
Well, look at all the time that Pearson had to get that shot away. Clark Gillies in front. He has Schoenfeld tied up. There's the shot. I don't know if Sauve got a piece of that. We still couldn't tell. In any event, there's your goal scorer, Mike Bossy. He has tied this game. That's his sixth playoff goal.
And it comes at 31 seconds on that power play. It's a 2-2 tie. What a hockey game tonight in Game 6. Here they come again, breaking in, right back in front of the net, and it's cleared away. Eric Smith getting back quickly to break it up in front of his own net, and McKechnie gets it up to center, too far. Pache turning. I'll tell you, the Islanders have come to life now as we start this second period. They're really flying. Langevin threw a check into his man. Pache, a long pass to the other side. Smith missed that pass and went in behind him. Pearson just cleared it back into his own zone. Langevin's pass down to the wing, and here's Bob Bourne again. He was bumped up the line. Standing up there was Bill Height. Height comes right back for Buffalo. He couldn't go in very far. A minute and a half gone in the second period. Score tied at 2. Here's Clark. Howard down the left wing. Howard, or rather Gillies, he jammed the brakes on, then threw it over this way, and it went by in front of Sauve. McKechnie comes out. Left it for Gare. And Gare just left it on that far side, and Height just threw it in. The checking becoming very, very close. Smith played it inside the line, and let me tell you, he was back. The Islanders had to hustle back. That's Big Gillies. Played it on the boards to the center ice area. Lane stopped a high shot. They've hit 2 minutes of this second period. Score tied at 2. Van Boxmeer back inside his own blue line. Up to Rupp, down on the wing. It went too far, and Billy Smith out of the net that cleared back of the goal. Gordy Lane ahead to Gillies. Gillies pass, didn't get out of the zone. Here's a chance for Rupp lighting up. That shot's got the rebound of Perreault. Oh! And Billy Smith stopped Perreault on that chance. Gillies. Long shot off the boards, and the Islanders are changing now. That's Ramsey. Pumped back of his own net. Van Boxmeer up to Rupp. Rupp sailing in with Perrault, catching up. Here's Rupp. He nearly got through, but he was stopped in time by Bob Lorimer. Back into the corner. Kennelly's pass went too far for Sutter. Buffalo Sabres shoot it back in. At the 3-minute mark of the second period. It's a 2-2 tie with Kennelly leaving it there. Playfair just played it up on the left side. Now Mongrain going into the zone. Mongrain passed in front of Martin. And Martin was stopped right in front of the net and took in a shot. Here's Nystrom coming back. His pass was blocked. He got it back again, but Merrick was inside the line and offside. Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on... Now it's my pleasure at this point of the hockey game to turn it over to Dan Kelly. Dan, it's a great game. Go get him.
Thank you, Bob Cole. Good evening, everyone. A 2-2 tie. 10:49 left in the second period. Outstanding playoff action. Nystrom trying to center one. Broken up. Gare trying to get it out of the zone for Buffalo. Did to center ice. And the Islanders, Pearson, feeds to Merrick, number 11, who tried to flip it in, and it's up over the glass. And into the crowd.
Well, Mr. Kelly, I'll tell you, have you ever seen action like this?
Gary, I was about to say when Bob introduced me, we've seen some outstanding Stanley Cup playoff action this year. This may be the best. And that's saying something after a Minnesota-Montreal series and the Flyers and some of their victories. But this has been outstanding, and it's still up for grabs. Here's Pearson for Merrick, number 11. Back into Langevin, number 26. 2-2 the score. Pearson working it out on left wing to Tonelli. Number 27, John Tonelli. Into a bad angle. Centered it. Smith cleared it away. Pearson shot. Stopped at the defense, and then Sauvé came out and covered up and held on.
Solid center iceman, still wearing that shield. Had that eye injury and continues to wear that. But you always have to have strength down the middle with Trottier and Goring. Wayne Merrick gives them that third good center iceman.
Face-off will be in the Buffalo zone to the left of Bob Sauvé. The Sabre goaltender, Sauvé, number 28. A 1.77 goals against average in the Stanley Cup playoffs coming into this game. Ready on a face-off. Here is Mike Ramsey, number 23. Fired it out on right wing for McClanahan. Now ahead for Mongrain. Lorimer takes him out of the play. Lorimer, number 4, around on the boards for Howitt. Howitt leaving it for Lorimer. Lorimer into the Sabre zone. Broken up now. Dennis Potvin flipping it back in. Here's Richie Dunn clearing it around on the boards. Richard Martin drops it back to the net for Dunn. Now McClanahan for the Sabres, number 15. To Martin. Martin to McClanahan. Number 15, Rob McClanahan. Wrist shot off the skate and wide to the net as it hit Lorimer. Here's Potvin for the Islanders. The New York captain. To Henning. He fires it on the boards into the Sabres zone. Young Mike Ramsey, the 19-year-old rookie, leads a 3-man rush to center. Into Mongrain. Tipped it in front. Cleared away by the goaltender Smith. Islanders Goring trying to get out of the zone. Works it at center to Bourne. Bourne in on left wing. Sauvé slides out to make a save. Penalty coming up. Bourne scores! Bourne! And the Islanders have the lead. 3-2.
Well, it was just a matter of time. You can't spend the whole period in your own zone. But you know who made the play all possible was Gary Howitt. The way he stretched out to stay onside. It looked like he was going to go offside when Bob Bourne carried the puck. It's out of your play. You can't see it. There's Bourne coming in. Sauvé makes a great save. To watch Lorimer come in from his defensive position and fire the puck hole.
The penalty had been called, so that nullifies the penalty.
Boy, what speed there by Bob Bourne. And he sets up Lorimer perfectly. Wrist shot. That's all it took. Big Sauvé on the short side. But I thought it was a real good play by Gary Howard. You know, it was a 2-on-1 break. It looked like Howard was going to go offside. He stretched out to keep that skate on his side of the blue line, allowed Bourne to penetrate the zone.
The scoring play, Lorimer, his first of the playoffs from Bourne and Goring at 11-11.
Rick Sealing, 2 minutes for delay of game.
And Sealing as well gets a delay of game penalty on the same play. Stanley Cup 80 will continue in a moment.
Trottier in the penalty box for holding at 12:31, and each team will be a man short.
Well, it was a 2-on-1, and the way those shorthanded goals have been going in, Trottier takes the man out, was caught on the play for holding. That'll nullify the penalty, and in 40 seconds, the Sabres will have a minute and 20-second power play.
Rick Sealing is the man who is in the box for Buffalo. 3-2, Islanders lead. Face-off in the New York zone. Here's Morrow, number 6. Morrow trying to get away from Perreault. Comes to center to Tonelli. Number 27, hard-working John Tonelli to Lane. Shoots one wide. And over on the left wing is Perreault, number 11. He's been fantastic tonight. His shot off of Morrow and wide to the net. Gare behind the goal, tried to center. Broken up in Tonelli for the Islanders. Gets it to center. Mike Ramsey gives it to Van Boxmeer. Back to Ramsey, number 23. To Van Boxmeer. Now to Perreault. He couldn't handle it. Here's Morrow to Mira. Sealing is back on. Islanders are shorthanded. Buffalo now at full strength as Van Boxmeer works it to Gare. Gare tied up on the boards. Myrick in there to Tonelli. John Tonelli spun around and knocked down, and now Gare circles back. The Sabres team captain Danny Gare to Perreault. Perreault over to Ramsey. 55 seconds left in the Islander penalty. Sabres can't get it out of their own zone as Henning and Goring with some outstanding penalty killing. Goring dumps it back in. And Boxmeer for the Sabres. Over on the boards to Gare. Back to John Van Boxmeer, number 5. That's center to Gare. Gare tied up by Goring, and it's cleared away by Lorimer. Henning had it for a moment. He's checked. Rick Sealing, number 16, with 25 seconds left in the penalty to the Islanders. Here's Gare. Moves it in front. Perreault tried to drop it back off the skate, and Goring feeds to Henning, number 10. Warren Henning. Off balanced and centered one, but intercepted, and Sealing away to center for the Sabres. Rick Sealing trying to make a play. Puts it into Martin. Martin trying to get it in front as Trottier comes back on. The Islanders have pulled it out. Here's Henning after a loose puck. And he's taken out of the play by Dunn and Schoenfeld. Headmans it to Richard Martin, number 7. Martin into McKegney. Shoots one. Oh, a big save with the goal stick by Billy Smith. And he held on to it. The Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second period. 3-2 Islanders. Lorimer, Bossy, and Tonelli have scored for the Islanders. Gilbert Perreault with a pair has taken care of the Sabres scoring. One time Buffalo led 2-0. Here's Richard Martin, a quick wrist shot wide. Now Height held it in for Buffalo. McKegney back to the net, takes his man out of the play. Pearson passing to Bossy, who has checked. Now Pearson, number 7, the Swedish defenseman, into the Sabre zone. Trying to feed it over. McKegney intercepts to Martin. He's tied up at center. Howitt dropping it back into his own zone to number 26, Langevin. Now to Pearson. Stefan Pearson. Into the Sabre zone, and it's offside at the Buffalo blue line.
Well, there's a mix-up. And a lot of the guys getting involved there in the corner. There was a change. Nystrom has just skated back to his player's box. He was ready to join in.
Richard Martin in the middle of it for Buffalo.
Scotty Bowman continues to chew on the ice, pacing back and forth. Al Arbour pacing again. You can't get the game any closer than what we have right now. Both coaches. Serious young lady.
14,995 the attendance here tonight. Islanders leading 3-2. No penalties, I don't believe, on the play. Just a skirmish in the corner. And now Schoenfeld and Trottier.
You know, one time they were both talking to Van Hellemond, and then they started shoving each other, and
now we're going to have penalties.
Now he's going to send them both off. Trottier, he's a fiery player. He won't take anything from anybody. He'll take it and dish it out as well. Of course, for the Sabres, they can't afford to lose another game, or it's all over for them. The way this game has materialized tonight, Dan, you wonder if they'll have anything left for the Philadelphia Flyers, who are back in Philly now, just probably taking in this game and resting up.
Schoenfeld and Trottier get delay of game penalties for their pushing match, just as play was ready to resume. 15:26 the time of the penalties. Islanders with a 3-2 lead. The Islanders with a victory here tonight would move into the Stanley Cup Finals against Philadelphia. If the Sabres win, then a seventh game would be back in Buffalo on Tuesday night.
Well, you got to give the Islanders a lot of credit. 2 goals down, and they hung in there. It's that extra effort that you're looking for, and they came up with it, and it resulted in 3 straight goals.
Islanders leading 3-2. 4:34 left in the second period. Gilbert Perreault is out on right wing with the rookie Mongrain at center. Each team a man short. Here's Dunn for Buffalo to Van Boxmeer. John Van Boxmeer, the ex-Colorado Rocky, puts it in. Lane is back to get it. Now on right wing to Nystrom, number 23. Nystrom against Dunn. Nystrom takes the hit, goes to the corner. Then tied up by 2 Buffalo players and manages to force a face-off in the Buffalo end of the ring. Ken Morrow, one of the U.S. Olympic players, and Dave Hodge will chat with the native of Flint, Michigan, who played college hockey at Bowling Green University.
You know, he handles the puck so well, and Al Arbour, he likes to see him get involved more in the offensive flow as he does the other defensemen. You know, if you got a chance to go, why not go in there and get that puck as long as one of your forwards covers up that position that you vacated?
People like Morrow and Ramsey and McClanahan have a chance of playing at a gold medal winner and a Stanley Cup winner in the same year. Here's Morrow's shot. Deflects wide, and Perreault for the Sabres. Upended by Merrick, but breaks loose, and Perreault with some fancy stick handling leads a 3-man rush. Moves it into Dunn. Shoots one, and Smith got a piece of that, and Van Boxmeer at the point couldn't hold it in. Now Nystrom into the Buffalo zone. Nystrom is checked, and back comes Mongrain. Shoots one, a stick save by Smith. Here's Perreault. Flipped it in behind the net. Morrow, number 6. 3.5 minutes left in the second period. Merrick to Nystrom. Nystrom on the boards against Mike Ramsey, who tied him up, and back comes Rick Sealing, number 16. Sealing leaving it for Don Luce. His wrist shot right on. Smith made the save and fanned on it as he went to clear it and had to reach back and grab it and hold on.
Bob Nystrom, after a slow start of the regular season, has certainly come on strong in the playoffs. I don't know, it seems to bring the best out of certain players when they get into playoff time, and that's what it's all about. Each round you win, you get a little closer. Number 23, and then of course Mike Ramsey, also wearing 23 for the Sabres.
He's another of the people who could, in one year, play on a gold medal winner and a Stanley Cup winner.
You think the Flyers have something to say about that?
Yeah, oh yeah. I said could. So to the Islanders, here's Bourne. Back of the goal for Dennis Potvin. Potvin, the Islander captain, to Henning, number 10. Henning in on left wing for Bourne. Bourne checked by Height. Height feeds it out to Don Luce. Luce and Sealing with a 2-on-2 break for Buffalo. Luce to Sealing. Sealing trying to get around the defense. Lorimer tied him up. Height a quick wrist shot wide by a couple of feet. And then the Islanders clear it to Henning. Height checks him. Now Bourne. Penalized players are back on. Here's Bourne tied up by Luce. And Height has it for the Sabres. To Ramsey, number 23. Mike Ramsey, poke check by Lorimer, and here's Gillies clearing one to center. Picked up by Henning. Lead pass to Trocheck. Sauve out of the net to poke it away. And Ramsey for the Sabres plays it off the boards for Derek Smith, number 19. Smith trying to leave it for Gare. Broken up and cleared by Pearson. Gillies now flipping one to Sutter, number 12. He dumps it in. Less than 2 minutes to play in the second period. Gare for the Sabres. Trying to hit Smith with a pass. It comes to center. Pearson for the Islanders. Over to Langevin. Now to Goring. Sutter on right wing. Schoenfeld ties him up. Goring over to help out. To Gillies in the corner. Gillies centers. Goring shot high off the glass. Sutter and Playfair in the corner. Comes to Langevin at the point. Fired it back into the corner. Sutter and Playfair are still there. Here's Goring. And Schoenfeld slides across to check Goring and frees the puck for a face-off in the Buffalo zone.
Well, something that Schoenfeld has been doing all game and all year, blocking those shots. And you know, the players by now, they should know that he's going to go down and just hesitate for a second, wait till he falls to the ice, and then make your play. You'll see Goring in the corner, and there comes Schoenfeld. Down he goes. Just hesitate for a second, draw the puck away from him, and then try to set up the play, especially when you're going for the shot on the net.
Scotty Bowman says next year he will not be doing any coaching. He'll confine his duties to being general manager. He said 13 years as a coach, that's enough. Here's Langevin's shot. Bouncing in behind the net, Sauve setting it up there, and back comes Smith. Howard knocked it down. Now down to McKechnie into the Islander zone. He's checked. McKechnie gets it again to Smith. Now Gare a shot, and that went wide. Less than a minute to play in the second period. Gary Howard for the Islanders. To Bossy. Round on the boards to Langevin. Rink wide pass to Pearson. Pearson to Langevin. At center for Howard, and that's a two-line offside pass, and the faceoff will be back inside the Islander blue line with 41 seconds left in the second period.
As we say, Gary Howard going to the box. How about this Scotty Bowman? You know, we were talking today about superstitious. Yeah, superstition. He is a very superstitious guy. Tell some of the things that he carries with him.
Well, he carries a miraculous medal that he says helped him to win a few Stanley Cups in Montreal. Has a comb that was bought in where? Mexico, that he lost.
Collects pennies. He's up to about 15 pennies that he's found so far.
Won't sleep on the 13th floor of a hotel. Here's a shot by Nystrom and a save. Puck back to the goal. Now around on the boards, Dunn clearing it for Ruff. Lindy Ruff trying to set up Perreault. Lane at center for the Islanders. Cleared it back. Here's Dunn. Nystrom breaks that up. 15 seconds left in the period. Schoenfeld to Ruff, number 22. Lindy Ruff slides it in. Back is Morrow for the Islanders. He cleared it on the boards. Sabres drop it back. Dunn can't hold it in, and that's going to end the period. And the second period comes to an end with a goal by Bob Lorimer, plus one by Mike Bossy, turning the game around and giving the Islanders the lead. Buffalo had 9 shots in the period. Islanders had 10. And so the score at the end of the second period, the New York Islanders 3, the Buffalo Sabres 2.
But you know, the Sabres now, they're going to have to start taking some chances and get in there and really have a period like they've never had before.
3-2 Islanders. Here we go with period 3 as Richie Dunn fired it into the Islander zone. Big Gilly shoots it back out. And Height, number 24, back for Buffalo. Cleared it over on the boards. They shoot it back around on the boards for Height. Number 24, Height, to Van Buxmeer, who's operating as a forward as he has in the last couple of games much of the time. Van Buxmeer, number 5, into the corner. For Perreault in front to Lindy Ruff. Ruff trying to get turned around. He's tied up, and there'll be a penalty here to the Islanders. And Buffalo will have a big power play opportunity. After only 37 seconds, Dennis Potvin gets a hooking penalty.
Well, that's Potvin's third penalty of the evening. And down...
That's another play with Lorimer upending Buffalo.
But now's the time for a guy like Martin or Gare to get something going here.
Sabres on the power play and trailing 3-2. Derek Smith, number 19. To Dunn. Broken up. Morrow can't clear it. Now Gare for the Sabres. Danny Gare, number 18. Drops it to Dunn. Over to Smith. Derek Smith into Gare. Off his skate. And poked out by Bourne to center ice. Sabres with the man advantage as they drop it back to Dunn, number 3, the native of Boston. Richie Dunn to Perreault. Here is Gilbert Perreault. Perreault drops it to Smith. Checked by Goring as he lost his balance. Goring trying to get away from Dunn, who tied him up. And then Sauvé cleared it. And Derek Smith takes over. Smith, tied up by Goring, has to circle back to Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld to Smith. Now to Schoenfeld. 50 seconds left in the penalty. Schoenfeld in on left wing, but Lindy Ruff was in ahead of the play, offside.
Well, one thing the Sabres are having trouble now is getting it across that blue line, but just prior to that, Goring broke away. It's a one-on-one situation. You notice that Richie Dunn has the angle on him, just gets in front of him. Now, he's not even worrying about the puck. Leave it alone. Make sure he has the man. Good play. Good defensive play there by Dunn. And
there's quite a story. Not drafted, and Scotty Bowman says he and Schoenfeld just maybe the best defenseman on his hockey club, a team that won the best of trophy.
You must have been reading my thoughts, then. I was just going to mention that.
Great minds think alike,
That's
sir.
right. Credit to Richie Dunn, how he has improved his game behind the blue line. Very solid defenseman.
Here is Bourne, number 14. Islanders still short-handed. Potvin with 41 seconds left in his penalty. Now Sealing leaving it for Van Buxmeer. John Van Buxmeer fires one into the Islander zone. Lorimer back to the net. Taken out of the play by Ruff. Here's McKechnie. Back to Schoenfeld. To McKechnie. Lorimer tying him up and Bourne cleared it. Schoenfeld held it in. Lorimer again. This time he hit McKechnie with it. Now McKechnie in the corner. Gets it back to the goal. McKechnie, number 8. Good play to Van Buxmeer. Couldn't get the shot away. Back to McKechnie. To Van Buxmeer. Over to Schoenfeld. Potvin back on the shot. Rebound and Sealing shot. Shot back to the 10. And here is Dennis Potvin. And there goes Lindy Ruff. And Billy Smith, the goaltender. Smith must have done something to Ruff because Ruff just headed back and went at Billy Smith. And Ruff apparently has been cut.
Well, we didn't see the play, Dan, that happened in front of the net. You notice that Ruff is holding the hand over his eye, but he dropped his stick and his gloves and he went right after Smith. And it'll be a very interesting call that we're going to see. And Ruff, he's upset.
Rupp went after Smith, and now Schoenfeld trying to get at the Islander goaltender.
Smith looking very innocent, standing in his crease there. Schoenfeld's really upset. There's Rupp. Well, let's have a look to see if we can see what happens here. There's the action in front of the net. There's one slash. That didn't do it in the eye. Smith battling him all the way. Oh, there it is. As he skated by, Smith stuck his stick out and Rupp goes after him. And there's no way, I'm sure the referee didn't see that initial contact.
Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. Well, we've had penalties called. Lindy Rupp has received a double minor, one for charging, one for roughing. Billy Smith, the goaltender, just a one minor for roughing at 2:47.
Well, you see Andy Van Helm trying to explain the penalties. Scotty Bowman looks on. He had made the accusation against Billy Smith back in Buffalo. Said that if Smith continued to swing his stick around, that the Sabres would take action. It happened just a few moments ago. There's the Islanders bench looking on.
And associate coach Roger Nielsen of the Sabres was complaining about the same type of play that Smith just made just prior to the game here this evening.
Well, we're going to have one more look at it. Rupp is getting in front of Smith. Good takeout there by Langevin. Now as he skates by, he gets the stick right alongside the face. Was it intentional or did he run into the stick? That's the big question.
So a double minor penalty to Lindy Rupp, just a single minor to Smith. He doesn't get called for the original infraction, which you said Van Helleman probably didn't see, and I'm sure he didn't.
No, it happened so quickly as Rupp was skating out, and you know, you really can't tell from that replay if it was an intentional against Lindy Rupp as he skated by. You notice that little piece sticking out. Billy Smith tapes the knob of his stick about 3 inches below the top, and there's that little piece sticking out. There you see it, just to the right of the camera. There's a good look at it.
Ever give you a jab with that in your days of molesting goaltenders around goal creases?
I was a little smarter. I stayed away from him.
Went on the other side. So a double minor against Rupp. That penalty will be served by McClanahan. Rupp is retired to the dressing room for repairs. Here's Rick Sealing into the Islander zone. Broken up by Ken Morrow. Morrow, number 6. He's checked, and Schoenfeld takes over for the Sabres. Jim Schoenfeld. To Perreault. Gilbert Perreault. Got it into the zone, but Lane cleared it back up. Sealing now for Height. Each team a man short. Schoenfeld gets away from Mira. Schoenfeld flips it into Rick Sealing. Sealing to Perreault, but Lane is there to intercept. Gord Lane had it poked away. Morrow picks it up. Ken Morrow into Tonelli on right wing, and the play is offside at the Sabres blue line.
You know, Dan, today talking to Scotty Bowman, you wondered how many healthy players the Sabres would have. Danny Gare is one of them, really nursing a tender ankle. Rick Sealing, the bad shoulder, all those nagging injuries gradually catch up. You know, this is the time of the year, there's no way you're going to miss a game. You're going to get in there and tape and guts, is that what they call it?
And the Sabres are already without Greg Ramsey, who's out with a broken wrist for the rest of the playoffs. Rick Dudley couldn't play tonight because of a bad neck. Here are the Islanders leading 3-2, clearing it into the Buffalo zone. Van Boxmeer headmanning it on left wing for Mongrain. His long shot off the stick of Billy Smith. Now Gare into the corner. He's tied up. And Lane comes up with the puck. Lane to Howitt. Harry Howitt, number 8. Van Boxmeer takes him out of the play, and here's Gare. Gare trying to get it on left wing to Dunn. Cleared away by Morrow, and Van Boxmeer has to circle back. 35 seconds left in the Billy Smith penalty, which Langerman is serving, and then the Islanders will have the man advantage. Here's Schoenfeld. Now Van Boxmeer trying to center it, and Persson checked him out of the play. Gare and Henning to the corner. Dennis Potvin comes up with it. Potvin, the Islander captain. Trying to work it into Trottier on right wing. Wrist shot, bad save by Billy Smith, or at least by Sauvé. And then he went down and grabbed it and held on.
Well, one of the things that the Islanders have done so well, and they certainly talked about that, is eliminating the man right from the play. You notice that check by Gary Howitt, taking the man right strong against the boards, pinning him there. Now, how about this for a takeout? Danny Gare, very solid. That's all it is. Take the man out. Your partner comes in and takes the puck away. Good play. But both teams have been doing it.
Now just 10 seconds left in the Islander penalty. A stick had been stuck down at the end of the rink in the glass, so the linesman Hodges retrieves that.
That was Danny Gare on the takeout by Gary Howitt.
If the Islanders win, they move into the Stanley Cup Final. If the Sabres win, they would force a 7th game in Buffalo on Tuesday night. Face off in the Sabres zone, and here's Savard, number 12. Savard and loose the Sabre forwards. They drop it back. Schoenfeld can't get it. Here's Bossy. Schoenfeld tied him up. Now Bossy to Trottier. Trottier just dumped it in behind the net. Islanders are at full strength. Buffalo still short-handed, so Schoenfeld slaps it off the boards down the ice. Minute 45 in the second penalty to Lindy Ruff for that skirmish with Billy Smith, the Islander goaltender. Persson for New York. To Gillies. To Trottier. Height breaks it up, and Schoenfeld cleared it to center. Persson to Potvin. To Bossy. Number 22, Mike Bossy, drills it into the Buffalo zone. Schoenfeld, beaten to the puck by Potvin, cleared it on the boards, but Height intercepts. Height for the Sabres, able to clear it the length of the ice. Minute 7 left in the penalty. Persson to Dennis Potvin. To Goring. Goring leaves it for Gillies, just out of his reach. Gillies then tied up. Here's Schoenfeld to Dunn, number 3. Richie Dunn, lead pass for Luce. All the way down into the Islander zone. Smith clearing it around in the boards. Here's Tonelli. 40 seconds left in the Lindy Ruff penalty to Buffalo. Persson to Potvin. Now Goring to Nystrom. He dumped it in. Sauvé cleared it on the boards. Rick Sealing tied up on the play. Now able to clear it in Mongrain, number 25. Jukes it away for Buffalo. 20 seconds left in the Sabres penalty. Persson to Tonelli. Tonelli taken out of the play by Mongrain, and Dunn cleared it to center. Nystrom, number 23 for the Islanders. Both checked by Mongrain. Morrow is there to cover up. Now Dunn losing it to Nystrom. Nystrom back to Tonelli. Tonelli cutting in, couldn't get the shot away. Sabres are back at full strength. They've killed it off. Myrick behind the net. And Mike Ramsey cleared it away from him. Still loose in the corner. Myrick for New York to Nystrom. Shoots wide. Just wide. Lane for the Islanders. Into the corner for Myrick to Nystrom. Found on the shot. And then Nystrom is knocked down. Now Myrick's shot goes wide. Here's Lane to Tonelli. Tonelli back to the net. Knocked down on the play. Loose puck comes to Lane, and that shot deflects wide. Myrick and Sealing to the corner. Myrick trying to center. Dunn for the Sabres. Cleared it away. Now it is Buffalo in their own zone. McClanahan spun around as the Islanders forecheck. That's Howitt. Gary Howitt trying to put it in front. Dead. Nystrom off. Shot, and he panned and Mongrain has it for Buffalo. He cleared one to center. Morrow for the Islanders to Howitt. Howitt trying to cut in. Schoenfeld tied him up, and Gare has it for the Sabres. Gare checked by Sutter. Sutter in the corner for New York. Trying to center. Sauve grabs the puck and held on. And the Islander forechecking has been relentless here in the third period. And some pushing and shoving in behind the Buffalo goal.
Lindy Ruff is coming out on the ice right now, so he seems to be all right.
This is Stanley Cup 80 from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
Well, there's Lindy Ruff right in the middle of your screen. He seems to be all right, back sitting on the bench, but the Islanders have certainly taken over in the last 5 minutes here with their relentless forechecking and good corner work.
Here's Lorimer at the point. His shot blocked at the defense, and Schoenfeld will block the shot from down on both knees to make sure no Islander could get to it. Well, there's a guy that comes to play in the National Hockey League every night.
You have to respect him. You know, it's easy to play in front of your own folks, to be aggressive, to do everything at home, but take that same person, put him on the road where it's a little tougher, and see what he can do. Schoenfeld shows that he plays that type of game both at home and on the road.
You see Schoenfeld and Sauve ready for a face-off between Goring and Perreault. It's to the left of the Buffalo goal. 11:45 left in regulation time. Islanders with a 3-2 lead. Schoenfeld clearing one off the boards and down into the Islanders zone. They roll. The Islanders could have played it, so there's no icing. That's Lorimer. Feeding it to center. Broken up. Martin had a chance. Lost it. Now Perreault. Dropping one back. It comes outside the line, and Schoenfeld has it at center to Playfair. Larry Playfair flipping one in. Now Lorimer flips one on the boards. It hit Perreault. Here's Perreault. Shoots from a sharp angle. Stick save by Smith. Now Martin in the corner. Richard Martin's backhander just wide on the short side. Hot back. Back of the net. Tied up by Perreault. Now Lorimer to Dwayne Sutter. And he shot up the center. Mike Ramsey drops it back to Playfair. Islanders leading 3-2. Here's Martin. Dropping one back into the zone. Sauve has to play it. Out for Ramsey. Now lead pass to Gare. He's tied up by Trotze, and Langevin shoots it into the Buffalo zone. Sabres could have played it, so there's no icing. Dunn to Ramsey. Back to Dunn. To McKechnie. To Derek Smith, intercepted by Langevin. He handed it right to McKechnie. McKechnie, number 8, long shot, well wide of the Islander goal. Bourne for New York. To Pearson. Now to Bossy. Bossy trying to set up Trotze, but Ramsey, the young Sabre defenseman, cleared it. Bourne tied up by McKechnie. Over comes Ramsey. Puck still loose on the board. Ramsey then flips it, and Pearson has it for the Islanders. To Bossy. Fires one into the Buffalo zone. Bounced off the boards in a crazy manner right out in front of the net. Back comes Gare. Checked on the play by Merritt. This pass to Bossy, who dumps it into the Buffalo zone. 9:43 left in regulation time. Here's Sealing for Buffalo. Long shot. That gave Smith trouble. And Morrow comes up with the rebound. Trying to set up Nystrom, but Schoenfeld intercepts. Mongrain lost it. Here's Tonelli trying to break through. Height knocked it down. Now a hand pass batted from one Islander player to another causes a stoppage in play at a face-off in the Buffalo zone. With the score, New York Islanders 3, Buffalo 2. This is Stanley Cup 80. There you see the time clock, 9:23 left in regulation time. Islanders leading Buffalo 3-2.
Well, this is the time, Dan, when you really can't worry about line matchups, especially from the Sabres' point of view. They have to keep fresh troops out there, change maybe every 30 seconds, but really get in there and get some good scoring change. They haven't had any in the last 7 minutes.
Here's Schoenfeld for the Sabres to Height. Now Mongrain trying to flip it in. Nystrom intercepted. Bob Nystrom for New York. Centers one to Merrick. He's checked by Sealing. And Mongrain then shot at the center. Taking over is Ken Morrow. He gave it to Merrick, back to Morrow. Morrow, upended as he came out of the zone, height for Buffalo. Feeds it in on left wing for Ruff. Morrow checks Ruff. Ruff gets it back again on the boards. Morrow ties him up and held Ruff on the puck against the boards. Face-off will be in the Islander zone.
Lindy Ruff has certainly been a very competitive player for the Sabres. Not expected to play much, but when Craig Ramsey had the broken wrist, he stepped in there, gives him a little more muscle up in front, and you notice he wasn't afraid to get in front of the net, and also we're working very hard in the corners.
A second-round draft pick of the Sabres. In the amateur draft this past year, a defenseman, but employed by Scotty Bowman as a forward many times this season, including here in the playoffs.
Well, that line has been very effective, along with Van Boxmeer and Ruff. It gives Perreault 2 shifts out of every 4, and he's had a lot of ice time tonight.
Here are the Sabres' big guns, Perreault, Martin, and Gare, all up front on the forward line. But Nystrom breaks out of there. He and Gillies. In on Van Boxmeer to Gillies. Shoot! Solvay just got a piece of it. Oh, Gillies with a big chance, and I think Solvay just got a piece of it.
Well, it was a perfect 2-on-1 break with Nystrom and Gillies. Nystrom fed Gillies at the right time. Van Boxmeer still hasn't turned around. He can't turn around. There is the good pass. It's too bad that Gillies couldn't have cut into the center of the ice area a little more. And I don't know if he just shot wide or if Solvay didn't get part of it, but what an opportunity to cut into the middle. Had a better chance of scoring.
Van Boxmeer with 8:35 left in regulation time to Dunn. Sabres trail 3-2. Dunn fires it in. Hot pass for the Islanders. Getting away from Perreault. Now to Gorin. He directs it into the Buffalo zone, and Van Boxmeer back for the Sabres. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Here's Gillies. The Sutter. Backhander. Solvay to save. They put the way on it. They score! Wayne Sutter! And the Islanders have the lead 4-2.
And again, it's a good, strong forechecking. You hear the response from the crowd. It dictates victory. There's Sutter's reaction. He's excited about the whole thing. He came to the Islanders halfway through the season. There's the forechecking and the giveaway by Van Boxmeer. Plugging the front of the net. They just keep going. Goring takes a swing at it. Sutter keeps jamming away. Solvay unable to cover up. Defenseman unable to take Sutter out of the play.
Wayne Sutter, the Islanders' #1 draft choice, pays off handsomely.
Oh, what a thrill for him. But there he kept plugging away. No defenseman around to take Sutter out of the way, and he finally jams it over the goal line. And that could be it, Mr. Kelly.
4-2 Islanders. Sutter's second goal of the playoffs. One of 3 Sutter brothers from Viking, Alberta, playing in the NHL. And he scored a big one here. Sabres on the attack, but Lorimer trying to move it out on right wing. There's one to center. Trottier going in after it. Sealing couldn't clear it. Now Trottier gets it to Howard. Quick shot. Solvay makes an arm save. Playfair for the Sabres. Back to Mike Ramsey. He's checked in the play, and around on the boards comes Playfair to seal it. Then a spot back for the Islanders in his own zone. The number 11, Merrick. Merrick's long shot. Solvay giving it to Playfair. He played it off the boards, but the Islanders' Langevin knocked it down at her. Here's Tonelli into Merrick on left wing. Shoots one. Solvay a save on the short side. Islanders cleared. Langevin held it in. His shot went wide. Here's Nystrom for New York. To Tonelli back of the net. And Playfair has it for Buffalo. Nystrom breaks that up. Nystrom into Tonelli. John Tonelli and Ramsey go to the corner. Merrick back of the net. Out comes to Nystrom. Behind the goal for Merrick. Merrick out in front. Backhander. Stick save by Solvay. Another save by Solvay on Wayne Merrick.
Well, it's just good, solid, hard work by the Islanders.
Stanley Cup 80 will continue in just a moment. That last scoring play, Dwayne Sutter from Goring and Gillies at 11:50 of the third period.
Well, you notice here that Goring fights for it, nobody around. Sutter has an easy time of it, but they're just out-muscling the Sabres now, the Islanders are, in every department in that offensive zone.
Here's Mongrain of a long shot wide of the Islander goal. Gillies trying to clear it. Richie Dunn for Buffalo. His shot well wide of the target. Mongrain fired it in. Now Perreault in the corner. Broken up by the Islanders. Dunn holding it in. Here's Dunn into Perreault. Perreault jammed out of the play by Lane. Mongrain for Buffalo with Goring on the boards. Puck comes to Sutter, who clears it to center. Schoenfeld tied him up. Sutter gets loose. Sutter trying to set up Gillies, and he was upended. And back comes Lindy Ruff for Buffalo. Goring checked him. Now Ruff trying to clear it in. Morrow knocked it down. Here's Ruff again to Schoenfeld. His long shot handled by Smith, and Morrow takes over. Played it down into the Sabre zone. 5.5 minutes left in regulation time. 4-2 Islanders. Then Boxmeer to Sealing, intercepted by Trottier. Now Bossy to Bourne. And then Boxmeer comes back for the Sabres. Then Boxmeer to Sealing. He tried to make the play. Sealing has it again to Richard Martin, whose shot hit Kotka. Dennis Kotka to center. His wrist shot deflects off Ramsey wide of the net. Sealing in the corner. Round on the boards for Ramsey. Less than 5 minutes to play in the third period. Lead pass to Martin goes all the way down the ice. Lorimer back to touch it for the Islanders, and icing is called against Buffalo. There you see the time remaining in regulation time. 4 minutes, 48 seconds. Islanders with a 4-2 lead. If it winds up this way, the Islanders would open the Stanley Cup Final in Philadelphia on Tuesday night. If Buffalo comes back to win, they'd force a 7th game on Tuesday night. Here's Height, clearing it to Gare. Sabres get it to Derek Smith. He works it into McKechnie. McKechnie centering wide. Now Derek Smith at the side of the net had his shot blocked. Lorimer clears to Tonelli. Height held it in for Buffalo. And in there forechecking was McKechnie, who forces a faceoff as he tied up Lorimer in the corner.
Well, Lorimer has to be very excited about that goal he got. You know, if you're going to get a goal and it's your first, why not be a big one? Right now it looms as a potential winner.
He scored at 11:11 of the second period from Bourne and Goring to make it 3-2. Here in the third, Blaine Sutter has scored from Goring and Gillies at 11:50 to make it 4-2 Islanders. Just over 4 minutes remaining in regulation time. Islanders clear it down the ice. It's Height back to touch it, and as he does, icing called against New York.
Well, there's no waiting for the Sabres. They have to go and make things happen. Al Arbour talking to his players on the bench. I'm sure he's saying, look, let's not get caught out there. Make sure that you have a man, especially in that slot area. The worst thing you want to do is give one up because of a 3-on-1 or 3-on-2 break. A very subdued Buffalo bench. Scotty Bowman could be his last game as a head coach. Players, they're head down, constantly looking at the time clock. That's the worst enemy right now.
4:17 left in regulation time. 4-2 Islanders. Here's Morrow for New York. Firing it on the boards. Bourne lost it. Islanders lose it. McKechnie shot high off the glass. And Nystrom for New York. Trying to fire it out. Height held it in. Smith leaving it for Gord Lane. Ground on the boards for Bourne. He got it to center. Dunn takes over for Buffalo. Passing it to Height. Bill Height shoots one in. Morrow back to get it. Morrow and McKechnie fight for it. In comes Derek Smith. Mirek on top of him. And we'll have a face-off in the Islanders' zone. This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum on Island. Minutes, 43 seconds left in the third period. Islanders with a 4-2 lead. and with the victory can move into the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in their history. Sabres would need a miraculous comeback now to force a 7th game. Here's Perreault on a face-off against Goring, and the puck is cleared up over the glass. Another face-off coming up in the Islanders' zone.
Well, they become so very important right now, especially for the Sabres. You know, you look at that bench and you look at Danny Gare and Rick Martin unable to score in this series, which has certainly hurt the Sabres' chances. You expect goals from those two guys.
Here is Sealing from the face-off. Over on left wing, the point man Schoenfeld a shot. That's caught by Billy Smith, and he throws it over on the left wing boards to Gillies. Gillies can't get it up. Now they do clear it to center, and Schoenfeld tries to feed it in. Gillies knocks it down. Clark Gillies losing it to Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld to Perreault to the side of the net, broken up as the Islander defenseman Lorimer knocked it away from Sealing. Sealing again. Dropping one back. Schoenfeld to Sealing. Rick Sealing out in front, shot it wide. Here's Perreault. Less than 3 minutes to play in regulation time. Van Buxmeer's shot. That hit Gillies. Going to be a penalty here against the Islanders. And it's going to be against Clark Gillies. He didn't have a stick. And Sauve was heading for the bench on that delayed penalty.
Well, a good effort by Clark Gillies to come out and block that shot. He didn't have a stick in his hand. And, you know, when you stop a Van Boxmeer shot, you know it's going to smart. Well, we're at the stage now where it's imperative that the Sabres score in this power play or they can forget it. There's the penalty against Clark Gillies. He was without the stick. He hauled Van Boxmeer down. There's a tripping call. 2:49 left to go in this hockey game. The Sabres have called a timeout. They'll give their frontliners a chance to have a little rest. Also, Scotty Bowman will go over some strategy, what he wants done at this particular point. It'll be interesting to see if Scotty does pull the goaltender. Jimmy Roberts looking on. Everybody's crowded around Bowman. There's still plenty of time. They have to score. They have to get one on this power play. Sauve is over at the bench. Also getting instructions from Bowman. I'm sure that he'll go back in his net for a while anyway. Billy Smith looks on. He really hasn't had the work that Sauve has had, especially in this period.
2 minutes, 49 seconds left in regulation time, and now Sauve
is gone.
Is on the bench. Buffalo with a power play will go with 6 attackers.
Well, now, Dan, it's very important that wherever that puck is, the Sabres have to outnumber the Islanders. If it's in the corner and you have 2 Islanders, the Sabres have to throw 3 men in there. Make sure they come up with that puck.
Playfair, Gare, Derek Smith, Schoenfeld, Perreault, and Dunn all on the ice for Buffalo. Islanders are shorthanded. At last penalty at 17:11 of the third period to Gillies for tripping. And Buffalo with 6 attackers, and from the faceoff they rule the puck was dropped unfairly, so they'll do it over again.
Well, Arbor has 2 centermen out there in Trottier and Goring. In case one of them gets thrown out of the face-off spot, he can always come back with another centerman. Good move.
Derek Smith against Trottier. Here's Perreault flipping it in along the boards. Lane for the Islanders. Back to get it. Perreault knocking it down. Over to Dunn. Dunn shoots one. Blocked at the defense. Now Dunn to Playfair. Oh, Smith, a big save. It's cleared down the ice at the open net. And misses as it hit the side of the net. And Perreault gives it to Playfair. Schoenfeld to Gare. Gare got it across the line. Cleared away by Merritt. And Dunn is back for Buffalo. Richie Dunn. Being forechecked by Henry. Sabre goal is empty. They have 6 attackers on this power play. Now Perreault, number 11, streaks into the Islander zone. Perreault over to Schoenfeld, his backhander right through the crease. Perreault to Dunn, to Gare. Gare shot, saved by Smith, rebound. Smith stops that and held on to it for a faceoff with 1:44 to play.
Well, the Sabres, they're pulling all the plugs out of the bathtub right now. They're putting on tremendous pressure. Billy Smith held his ground there. You talk about congestion in front of the net, and the Sabres had 4 players there trying to get that rebound, trying to get one by Smith. Just unable to do so. They're going down fighting. 1:44 left. They got their big guys in front. Playfair, over 200 pounds. Now watch, once the shot originates, how many players are there? 1, 2, 3. Here comes another one, 4. Just can't get it over Billy Smith.
That was Perreault who has scored both of the Buffalo goals here this evening. A minute 44 left in regulation time. 55 seconds left in the penalty to Clark Gillies.
You know, a credit to both teams with the intensity that they have played. Of course, with the Sabres, there's no tomorrow. They had to play hard, but the Islanders just took over in that second period and continued to do so in the third.
Buffalo at one time led 2-0. Islanders have scored 4 in a row. There's Perreault on the faceoff, gets it to the corner. Lorimer cleared it. Now moving in was Richard Martin from the left point. Rounding the boards to Perreault. Lorimer ties him up. Gare comes in to try and get it loose, and it's held there. And now a minute 31 left, and another faceoff in the Islander zone. And we have a problem with the glass being dislodged in one of the exit ways down there. They're thumping along those boards and in the corners. A minute 31 left in regulation time. Scotty Bowman and Jimmy Roberts, his assistant, look on from the Sabre bench. 42 seconds left in Gillies' penalty. Here's Van Boxmeer's shot blocked at the defense. Now Lindy Ruff. Back to Martin. Into the corner for Ruff. Ruff behind the net. Out in front. Smith the save, and it's cleared away by Gorey. No icing because they're shorthanded. And Martin has it for the Sabres. To Perreault. Gilbert Perreault lost it to Bourne. Bourne stole it from Perreault. And with a minute to go, makes it 5-2 Islanders.
Well, you really can't blame Perreault. Rick Martin gave Perreault a puck when he was standing still. He had a chance to go with it, elected to pass off, and Bourne had a pretty easy time of it. Watch this, Perreault standing still. Now somebody's got to cover up. Everybody skates by, and away goes Bobby Bourne. Danny doesn't make any mistake on that one. And that's all she wrote. The Islanders will go against the Flyers. You think that'll be a tough physical series?
A grinding series as Pat Quinn and his jet with Dave Hodgson.
Well, the last time we played was in the semifinals. They went to 7 games.
That was a short-handed goal with a minute to go into the empty net to make it 5-2. And the Islanders are on the verge of entering the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in their history. Here's Morrow shooting it in. Playfair for Buffalo. Fires one down. Going back is Morrow, and as he touches it, icing called against Buffalo with 38 seconds now remaining.
Well, Dan, when you look at the Islanders team, it was their strong hitting along the boards, in the corners, in front of the net. They just out-muscled the Buffalo Sabres for about 10 minutes on in that second period, carried it right into the third period. They had the opportunity, the Sabres. They were up 2-0, and then that goal by Tonelli, and it seemed to turn things around, and they just kept right on going. And the fans, you hear them.
Oh, they've been disappointed the last couple of years, losing to the Leafs a couple of years ago, to the Rangers a year ago. But this is their night. 5-2 Islanders. They're about to enter the Stanley Cup Final. Nystrom checks in the play. Sealing now clearing one into the center ice area. Here's Mongrain. Over to Rupp. Morrow checks in, and here's Tonelli for New York. To Nystrom. Into Tonelli. Playfair punches in and against the boards. Puck comes loose. Nystrom shoots one. Sliding out was Ramsey to block the shot. And with 9 seconds left, another face-off in the Buffalo zone.
Well, you notice Rupp, even though the game is over, he continues to hit. Mike Ramsey continues to go down and block shots. Let's give the Buffalo Sabres a lot of credit.
And there are 19 and a 20-year-old who are going to be around for a few more Stanley Cups in the future. That goal by Bourne, his 10th of the playoffs, was unassisted at the 19-minute mark. Bourne also has a couple of assists, so he's had a productive night. 9 seconds left. Islanders lead 5-2. Here's Mike Ramsey, the 19-year-old Sabre, cleared it to center. 3 seconds left. Shotting by Mongrain. The game is over, and the New York Islanders have defeated the Buffalo Sabres 5-2. They win the series 4-2, and it's on to Philadelphia for the Islanders in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final against the Flyers on Tuesday night. And we'll be there for you for both the Hughes Television Network and for Hockey Night in Canada.
Well, they did exactly what they had to do. Worked hard along the boards and in the corners. They have the bigger team. They out-muscled the Sabres. But what an exciting hockey game. The intensity that this game was played, it's a credit to the NHL. There are the teams shaking hands. It's amazing, Dan, that the guys can go out there and knock each other around, and when it's all over, congratulate each other on a fine effort.
Congratulations go on at center ice. And the New York Islanders, for the first time in their history, are heading to the Stanley Cup Final. It's down now to the Flyers and the Islanders.
As I was saying before, Dan, we played against, when I was still with Philadelphia, against the Islanders. We took the first 3. They bounced back for 3. 7-game series, and I anticipate a long series in that one, too. There's Scotty Bowman.
Congratulating Clark Gillies. He already congratulated Al Arbor.
His last game as a coach.
He says next year he will only be the general manager, and that ends his reign, of course, 4 Stanley Cups in a row with the Montreal Canadiens. A great first year in Buffalo as GM and coach. Next year he'll be the general manager. Roger Nielsen, he says, will be the coach. Clark Gillies.
What a strong game he had. I think this was his best game of the series. Gary Howard, who continues to...
Wayne Sutter with a big goal.
A trade deadline deal that sent Billy Harris and Dave Lewis to the LA Kings for center Butch Goring helped take the pressure off Ryan Trottier in the postseason and was the ingredient the Isles needed to make it all the way in the playoffs. They downed the Flyers in 6 in the final to win the first of 4 consecutive Stanley Cups. Thanks for watching Vintage Games here on the NHL Network. We'll see you again next time.